is not flagged down because of talking such things. So I'll continue. So let me go back behind a bit. They'll hear of their ancestors talking, and it will be me talking to them through their ancestors, telling them to go back, to go and to dwell, and to go and build, to go and uproot whatever they find there, to start afresh, to go back and settle and take over whatever they find there. They find that is there, that the owners have died and left. Governments will have to come up with so many rules, because now these are times that the things happening are abnormal. Those governments that do not allow foreigners to own land will have to change their rules. They'll have to encourage those new settlers, and they'll have to learn to identify those who are authentic and know what culture they belong to. For those who will go back and reach their country of origin, that is. Because it's not just the nationalities I'm talking, it's not just the nationalities. I'm talking about people going back to even the cultures within those nationalities, those nations. Let me repeat this again. This is, I think, about it's a bit confusing, because it's not just the nationalities I'm taking people back to. Yes, sorry, forgive me. I had mispronounced something, because it's not just the nationalities I'm taking people back to. Even the cultures within those nationalities or nations, I'm taking those cultures back to their peoples. I repeat that again, because it's not just the nationalities I'm taking people back to. Even the cultures within those nationalities or nations, I am taking those cultures back to their people. Because people need to repopulate the lands. They need to take over when the governments have failed, where they have died, where they have been left unmanageable, so that hooligans and renegades and what have you do not sprout up. And such places are the ones you'll be sending a lot of prophetic missionaries to speak. You will be sending a lot of prophetic missionaries to speak and give directions. Do not worry about all these rumors about Africa splitting in two at the rift or wherever they are talking about. If I want it to happen, it will happen. If I don't want it to happen, it's very easy. If I want you to restore the kingdoms how they're supposed to be, you will see new formations. But if I don't want, you will. If I don't want you, if I don't want, okay, so let me repeat this. If I want you to restore the kingdoms how they're supposed to be, you will see new formations. But if I don't want, you will see fault lines where they shouldn't be. That will be me, not what people have been studying. They'll be shocked. If I want to separate Africa, I know where to separate it, not where people are thinking. Most nations have a purpose, not all, but most have a purpose. They have a purpose, for I purposed it. I used the authority that was there then to form nations, to bring people together to separate others. I know why I was doing it. I know the boundaries, and that's why I am telling you there are countries that will merge that should have been one from before, that their purposes and destiny are one, not separate. And they are stronger when they are one and not separate. Rivers are increasing in Africa, permanent rivers, huge rivers. You will see huge rivers, not just in Kenya. Do you understand, for example, that there is no purpose for some countries like Lesotho for them to be separate? Do you understand? There's something not right. That is just greed of the leaders. Yes, they preserve the culture, but the Western nations have interfered so much that there's no purpose. Some of them will just be merged back into the society and they'll become just a state. Like now, Lesotho in South Africa, it will become a state. It will just become a state. The king will lose his power but retain the kingship because he's taken his people for granted. He's enriched himself, but his people are suffering. That's why I say the purpose is useless. Purposes of separating are to grow, but there are people in such lands that don't know what benefits they have received from being an independent land. Some of these deaths will shake so many lands and they'll realize there is no use to be separate. Lesotho is coming to merge with South Africa. Swaziland is coming to merge back with South Africa because there is no purpose. Their autonomous power is not for good benefits to their nationalities. That's why so many of them leave their countries to go to places like South Africa and Botswana and others. I don't want that. I want people to enjoy their lands. I want people to enjoy their cultures in a healthy way. I want people to enjoy what I created for them. So the culture remains just like the Zulu culture and others remained. But the autonomous, prejudiced, suppressing leadership will need to go. They will just remain as a cultural encouragement, a cultural education, and also they'll be used like the way I am bringing back clans. They will be part of a whole, not separate. They'll have people who they are subject to, who can correct them, who can give them direction so that all their nationalities, all the people will gain. They are such hard working people. It's a pity when they are oppressed by their own leaders. So when he's talking about clans, let me go back a bit. When he's talking about clans coming back, he's bringing back clans because he has revealed to us in Kenya that clan leaders will become very powerful people, like the way you can say a chief or a governor. In fact, they will be stronger than a governor. It will be above a governor because they will be under the king, the president. Okay, so God is bringing back clans of tribes, and we'll begin to see these people being they have already been, they will be identified by God, and they'll be put in power by God, and they will bring a lot of good to their people. So I continue. It's a pity. How can somebody have so many wives? One man, how can he have so many wives? That's slavery. How do you want to have so much? Do you know that some of them want to have so many wives, but they refuse their people to do the same? Because they think they are the only ones to have the wealth to marry so many. It's sad, it's sad. It's very sad when a leader is given opportunity to do good and they don't. He's given the opportunity to be educated, but they don't use their education. It's sad. It's so sad when they want to gain, when they want to partner with the Western leaders to oppress their own people, to become guinea pigs of things that are being done in their countries. It's sad when you're using your own people as guinea pigs, when you're using your own people as slaves. South Africa will become a greater country, greater nation than what it is. Do you know it's going to control the shipping industry as the favor, the anointing, as the power is snatched from the West? A lot of this will land in countries in Africa, and South Africa will steal a lot of that from the Mediterranean nations. We'll steal a lot of that from the Asian nations because of strategic position, or because of its strategic position. They will also have a believer as a president, and not just the president. The cabinet will be full of believers, prophetic, who are going to be used of God. The same as Nigeria, things are going to happen at their right time after Kenya. So a lot of things are going to happen. Politics will be no more. Politics, like it is right now, is shifting all over the world. What people place as important, what they placed up, will cease to be because it's not benefiting them. That's why countries will merge, will become one, and their people will love each other because oftentimes they are brothers, and there are families that have been cut off by boundaries. So they will embrace themselves, they'll embrace together, and they'll embrace to build up their nations. So he continues, Malaysia, watch out for Malaysia. Malaysia, I am raising that land. I'm going to raise up that land as it becomes a believing nation of Jesus Christ. I am going to raise up that land to incredible things. It will overtake Singapore. I will also use Singapore, but it will overtake it as a flip. As I flip it, okay, but it will overtake it. It will overtake it. As I flip the coin of the last shall be first. The destiny of Malaysia is to be great. It has never accomplished, it has never reached its position. This is the time it will. Just like the destiny of Kenya is to be great, but it has never reached its potential. There will be a lot of connection between Kenya and Malaysia. A lot, a lot, a lot. It will be like a highway between Kenya and Malaysia. Just like what Singapore did in copying Kenya, Malaysia will do the same. This is what I understand is Singapore. Some part of the government came to Kenya to copy Kenya. I think it's the 1970s. The way Nairobi was structured and set up, and the structures that were used to, I think the laws, if I'm not wrong, and just the council structures of how to build up a city, how to that Kenya had begun, and how laws and all that stuff. I think they took back. I'm not sure, but I think that's what they came to study about Nairobi, and about, I think mainly about Nairobi, how Nairobi was structured, the city, and everything. And then they took back that example and created Singapore like it is right now. So Kenya is messed up because of bad governorship and bad leaders, greedy leaders. But if we had followed that way, imagine we were ahead of Singapore at that time they came here, we would be even ahead of them. But anyway, it wasn't our time then. So let me just repeat that again, that sentence. Just like what Singapore did in copying Kenya, Malaysia will do the same. That's how it will be built up. You will help Malaysia in so many ways. As they see you, as they study you, they do. They do. As they see what you're doing, they do. And they will ask for so much help, and you will not deny them. Politically, economically, whatever way. They will have to receive from Kenya. They will have to be imparted by Kenya, because a nation can impart another nation, not just individuals imparting other individuals. A nation can impart another nation to become like a disciple. Watch out for Malaysia. It's springing out, it's increasing its boundaries like never before. I'm healing Vietnam. Vietnam in such a big way. What America did to them, do you know they are going to plunder America? What America did to them, I am going to plunder for them. A lot of nations that have been hurt and destroyed by America will plunder America in a big way, because I want those nations lifted up. Now, do you understand how some Islamic nations will become Christianized? Because I am lifting them up. Iran has suffered in the hands of America. Iraq has suffered in the hands of America. Libya has suffered. Tunisia has suffered. So many. Name all the Islamic nations that have suffered from America's interference. Syria has suffered in such a big way. They have buried so many people. Lebanon has buried so many people, and America's hands are in so much. Because of the downfall of America, a lot of nations will rise up again. Will rise up again, will rise up again, will begin to grow, will begin to thrive. Even if it's not in a big way, but they'll begin to grow, they'll begin to increase, they'll begin to have life. And you are going to declare and speak to so many of those lands, and you're going to go to such lands at their borders. You remnants are going to do all this. Wherever it is, I'll take you, and you will speak life, and you will see the life that is coming to Kenya begin to grow, begin to sprout out there. People will begin to have hope. Look at what has happened to Afghanistan. Those are my people. Even though they serve a different God, those are my people. I created them. Look at what America did to them. The judgment of America, no one can withhold. No one can stop. They have dug such a big, massive hole for themselves, and they have no one to blame. They have no one to blame. They are going to go down in such a big way. Their children will go down in such a big way. Their cities, their towns, their land, it's going to go down in such a big way. Do you know a lot of land in America will be inhabitable, either being cut off into the sea or flooded? There will be rifts, earthquakes that will cut off particular parts of the nation from others. Waterways will separate so many people that it cannot be bridged. It cannot be said again of America, superpower. It can never be said again of America, superpower. It can never be said again of America, superpower. The destroyer of nations is being destroyed, is being destroyed, is being destroyed. And don't think that the European nations are any better. No, they are not any better. Judgment is also coming to them. Judgment is coming to them, and the lands that I am sparing does not mean that they are clean. It's just that I am going to use them. I am using Japan for a reason. I am using Russia. I am using China. They are not clean. It's just that I use anybody. Some of them will be shaken, but they'll not be finished, because not everybody can live in such places. Not everybody is equipped to live in some places. Not everybody is equipped to live in some parts of the world. So I cannot finish off some places, but I'll shake them in a serious way. The lands that have rejected God, I'll shake them so that the underground church will come out. It's up to me to do it. Ireland is so beautiful. It looks like how Eden should be. Green mountains, beautiful sceneries. I did a lot of work. So at this time, my body was shaking so much in reaction to this revelation. I did so much, a lot of work. And I'm using the people. I'm going to use the people. Ireland. I am Ireland, not Ireland, like an island. Ireland. I'm going to raise that nation up as a strong Christian nation. They have suffered enough, also in the hands of the British, in the hands of English leaders. They have suffered enough. The Scottish are warriors. They settled their own, and they fought. They fought for their rights. Let me repeat that again. I think I misread some things. They settled there, and they fought for their rights. And I am paying back nations for what happened to them. I am paying back nations in such a big way for what was stolen from them. I am paying back nations that did evil to others. Whatever they did will be heaped on them. Whatever was taken from some nations will be heaped in big droves, because my name has to be glorified in the whole world. Even as England goes down, because definitely it will go down. Part of it will go down. It will go down in water. It will go down and be finished in the way of, just like America, in the way. So it will go down in water. It will go down and be finished in the way, just like America. The same sins of England are the same sins of America, because it's the same people, even though America is full of different cultures, but the leadership was from England. The demonic leadership was just a transference from England. So they have centuries and centuries of sins they have committed to other nations. That's why they're always in partnership when destroying other nations. But the transfer of wealth to Africa will be huge. It will be huge. But think of this: owned by Kenya, ruled by Kenya, made by Kenya, controlled by Kenya, manufactured by Kenya, anything you think of by Kenya. That is what is going to happen in Kenya. Even embassies will not have a free for all like they have been having. They will be restricted in power that they have in this country. And they'll be afraid, because they'll realize that powers have shifted. They are no longer in control, so they cannot control this country. They cannot buy power like they used to buy, given power by the useless leaders of this country like they have anymore. It will not work for them. In fact, at some point, Kenya will be speaking and requesting for specific ambassadors and rejecting others. Not the nations sending them to choose, but Kenya to dictate who comes to Kenya. Kenya will dictate. Fire at the Antarctic. Fire at the Antarctic is rising. Fire at the Antarctic is rising. Do you know it will create a way? It will create a way. It will create a path. Fire at the Antarctic will create a massive way, massive path. Then you will see. Peace, 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 be at peace. So when he was saying that, there was a time he showed me that there was a river, a river of lava that will split a path in the Antarctic. So I thought Antarctic at that time, when he was showing me that split by a mountain, I think there will be a volcanic action or earthquake that will cause this lava from underneath to flow, and it will create a path. At that time, I thought Antarctic is still a continent. I was still thinking of global Earth, globe Earth as a globe. But later on, he started revealing to us that No, the earth is not a globe, it's a flat earth. So it made sense now to understand that Antarctic is not a continent, it's all around the flat earth. It's it's what is blocking us from seeing the lands beyond the earth that we know. So this is what he was saying. Do you know it will create a way? Let me start reading from the beginning. Fire at the Antarctic. Fire at the Antarctic is rising. Fire at the Antarctic is rising. Do you know it will create a way? It will create a way. It will create a path. Fire at the Antarctic will create a massive way, massive path, then you will see. So he begins to end, and he continued, peace, 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 be at peace, be at peace, be at peace, 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 peace. So he continued that, just releasing peace on us. Your bodies at peace, your minds at peace, your souls and spirits at peace, your eyes at peace. And as if you have reached this far in these recordings, please let the same peace be over you. Your bodies at peace, your minds at peace, your souls and spirits at peace, your eyes at peace, your ears at peace, your minds, your brains at peace, your hearts at peace, at peace, at peace. Not restless, but at peace, full of peace, full of peace, 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 peace. Your lungs at peace, your stomachs at peace, your organs at peace. Peace, 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 peace and quiet, peace and quiet, peaceful sleep, peaceful dreams, peaceful everything, peaceful digestions, peaceful digestions. My brother began to react so much in his body because he's had digestive problems for quite a while. So he was reacting because he was being ministered to. And the Lord kept repeating peaceful digestions for a short while. He kept repeating that. And I was filled with lethargic with lethargy because peace, as peace was being spoken, my body was just getting loose and so peaceful. And so the reaction of my body usually to the peace being poured on us is I start feeling so lethargic, like my body cannot support me, my legs cannot support me, my hands are just hanging, my head is hanging loose because it feels like some like these puppets on a string when they are when they are folded, when the puppeteer lets go and the puppet just collapses. So that's how I usually feel sometimes. And sometimes I even sit down. I have to go down and just sit down because I cannot support myself. My legs cannot support me. So he continues, peaceful lungs, peaceful hormones, peaceful hormonal balance, peaceful everything, peaceful lungs, peaceful hormonal balance, peaceful everything that is not at peace, peaceful everything that is not at peace, peaceful everything that is not at peace. And then we actually we received even as he was speaking this, we received healing from cold viruses we had had over a few days, and that's what I recorded. And we thanked God for everything. We thank God for His peace. We thank God for everything, or even the peace that He released. We thank God for the ministry. We thanked God for the revelation because this was a long recording. In fact, as I look at it, it's 1 hour and almost 20 minutes long. And I'll try and cut it up for TikTok, but for those who can go to the full recording in YouTube, it's better just to listen to it once and for all, or even download it and then you can listen to it at your own leisure. So thank you so much for being with me up to this end, and I hope you're going to just share these recordings, share these videos, and these revelations for others to hear and get hope to know that these things are soon coming. It's not something far off at in 50 years. No, no, no. These things are going to happen. These shakings are going to happen. These deaths will happen very soon. And this revival is bringing about so much, because deaths will happen and then the revival will happen, because death is what will release the remnants. The people who die will release the remnants that are being revealed, that are coming out. So a lot of things are happening around the same time. Okay, so don't think this thing is many years. No, 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 it has nothing to do with many years. In fact, the more we live, the more the years come, the more we are assured. In fact, at some point, the Lord told us, don't stop thinking of years, next year or whatever. Start thinking of months. Start thinking of months. Start thinking of weeks. It has nothing to do with years. So be blessed and be at peace. And I hope that we'll meet in the next recording. Thank you so much for listening and partaking of this revelation. Thank you.